everybody. Hello, hello. Woohoo! How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Let's get this a little bit closer. Hopefully this doesn't mess up the view. Let's add something else to this. Let's go over here. Let's go to a pad. Hello? Oh, you're gonna do that? Oh, man. I want to do this live stream from Logic, but... Okay, good, it's gonna let me do it. Okay, there we go. So now we can add our big guy. And one tip right off the bat, if you're loading UniFi layers, there's a really cool ability over here to add missing macro links. And what that does, like if I delete Talking to Earth and now I load Talking to Earth again as a UniFi layer, because I turned on that feature, when I right click and say, you know, well, I've got it set to load UniFi layer, so I just have to click it. If I say Talking to Earth add, it will automatically add the links. So now, and some people like the, you know, Bob likes the pitch LFO on the mod wheel. I have a severe allergic reaction to the pitchy stuff. I want that. So if you call up patches and you move the mod wheel and it's kind of pitchy changing and stuff, if you have an OBXD, it's an easy fix. Take the vibrato rate from wherever it is just to 0. And now you can play it and... Now you can get harmonic timbral changes without the pitch LFO. It's a religious thing, kind of. So. And this is actually one of my patches, so I should have fixed that, but I didn't. Anyway, welcome to a live stream. Hello, everybody. Yay! My name's John Lehmkuhl. This is a live stream we do every week on Saturdays at this time. Let's see here. Let's go to the Plugin Guru website and have this so that it doesn't show you that. Oh, and I gotta do this. So I go like here and that. So we have a new library to share with all of you. Boom. Hello. We have, oh, not Night Titan. Whoops, I clicked too late. We have Space Dreams, a new library of epic ambient everything, all sorts, everything you need to do ambient stuff. It's all the sounds you're hearing. This is all from the library. It's made by Bob Deis. I think he's going to be in our chat, so you can say hi to him in the chat. A whole bunch of you, if you go down, scrolling down past the video, stuff like this and so forth, 5-star reviews. Everybody's blown away so far. I'm so glad that you guys are sending in reviews. Thank you very much. It's a nice library. Really nice. Wobbly pitch also drives me bats. Yeah, it's, you know, I've got many friends in the programming world, and there's some people that love the pitch LFO on the mod wheel. I like it at times when you can control the depth. And unfortunately, inside of OBXD, we don't have access to that parameter. If you go to OBXD, there is no modulation wheel intensity. So it's gonna do it, and you can just control how fast it is. Doing it faster. If you do it slow enough, it kind of sounds like it really like does that. But we did a small tweak when we released UniFi to set the OBXD so that if you set it all the way to 0, that bypasses the modulation. I don't know what Shane did, but it was the thing I asked Shane to do to OBXD, because there's times where you don't want the wobbly pitch. Or if you do, you want just a little bit and you want to control the shape of it a little better, and we don't have those controls inside of OBXD. So, just so you know, there is a shortcut if you come to the lead patches and so forth, and they're not quite singing the way you want because of pitch LFO. If it's an OBXD patch, you can remove that easily. If it's a Guru sampler patch, it's equally easy to remove. It's found over here where it says mod wheel does this, and you have, intensity settings and so forth. Anyway, this library is called Space Dreams. It's from Modern Cinema. This is library number 5 from Bob Deis. Now, there's Micro Cinema that he released earlier this year at around, actually about a month and 10 days ago for Valentine's Day, right? That was Micro Cinema because it's a smaller library. It's like, I think it's like 700-800 megabytes, much shorter to make, not a deep dive into a certain genre and so forth of patches. But when you get to let's see, let's go from the top. We've got Renegade he did first, which is cinematic sound design as well as instruments. It's got incredible basses and guitars. The vocal stuff is really, really cool with these huge crowd chant things and all sorts of cool stuff. Cool synths that he recorded. Right? As well as what I like this library for is for all these kind of things. These risers and drops I use a lot. All these things that you need for, and then the big hits, the things you need to do, the really cool cinematic things, you have the cool strings going and all that kind of stuff, or really cool things like layered claps. And we just introduced the ability to show on the keyboard. So this is a library that actually has the best complete layout of cool drum kit, toms, you've got both loops as well. That kind of stuff. All that kind of and trailer percussion goes. So all that kind of cool stuff was Renegade. Next, he did Ambient Dreams, which is like Space Dreams is a complementary to this library. Ambient Dreams, the thing with this that differentiates it from Space Dreams is Ambient Dreams, a lot of the sounds are coming from acoustic instruments being taken into new territory. You go to some of these things and it's a lot of really cool, acoustic instruments. When you get to the motion things, like the motion strings and stuff, these are acoustic instruments manipulated. Really cool library. I'm gonna speed up my tempo. Really cool scenes, great. There's videos on our website if you want more information on Ambient Dreams. It really is a complimentary sidekick to Space Dreams. Next, Bob did Back to the 80s, which is a really cool library using Vital to make all sorts of really cool 80s patches, all the brass stabs. There's these really cool BPM sequences you can call up where it sets everybody up and you just start playing and you get right there into the groove. Really, really great. And then in February for Valentine's Day, Bob released Heartstrings, which is really a cool library that has accordion, piano, and violin as the main instruments. There's not a lot of places I know of where you can go find things like accordion strides that are or major. And you can set this to UniFi layer. Let's get the piano stride in there too. And then the violin stride. Then you go down here to keys. Where's keys? You get the accordion. And load that to a new UniFi layer. You know, so if you want to do things of that nature, it's Valentine's Day, so there's some really cool sound design. And let's see here, let's go like just normal and kalimba by the fire. You know, everybody needs to have a romantic kalimba moment. So there's Kiss the Girl for the really cute. So it's a great library. Came out really, really cool. Let's see here. Here's a Shipwreck Symphony. This is putting everything together in a kind of unique. So it's very, very cool for all that kind of stuff. It's organic in nature, acoustic instrument oriented. And then since November, actually, I think October of last year, I first heard word from Bob that he was working in this direction, and it is now here. But look at how long it took to get here. Part of it's just scheduling, because there's a number of other libraries that were I kind of have a number of producers that have libraries in the works, and so it's kind of like airplanes landing at an airport. So I kind of like have to pick out and slot where they can show up so that it's like the right time and the right order. I don't want something that's similar released right after something else that's similar, you know? So we got this to where this is the right time for it to come out, and it is here, and it's beautiful. It's really unique, and let's it's I think by far the deepest library he's gone into. All these UniFi layers, some of these, if you open them up, they will go into fairly deep dives into all sorts of things, or else they'll just be different signals. But you hear, you've got the it's fun to like pull these apart. And then up, here's the kick. Now, one tip, I see a lot of people when they're playing with UniFi, they don't remember this. If you right click, it will turn off all of the solos that are on. So like I have everything but the kick playing, but the kick is off, right? If I want these all to go off, I can just right click on this and it does that. So just a normal click is solo on and off as usual, but if you right click, 1, 2, right click at the right time, you can get where a certain number of things that are soloed can immediately be turned off. It's very, very handy for doing live things and stuff like that. The library goes 250 patches deep. There's art patches, which have a really cool. And for this library, not all, but a lot of the sounds that you see here that are of the plucks and pads and so forth, they were created by Bob creating patches inside of Vital and then sampling them into UniFi. So Binary Echoes has all of these samples to make up this one instrument because he does velocity between the samples. So if we solo this and we bypass Blue ARP, I believe his map was to do every other note, so the range is great. But then you add the ARP, which will get you into a certain place. Add the effects. And then another layer of a different ARP. Right? On top of this, there's really cool basses. So like, I'm gonna tell these guys to just be from middle C up, and I'm gonna hold down Option on the transpose and transpose each of these down. So they're now playing right here. And I can go down here to the basses, Warpole. And because Warpole, it plays all the way up and down the keyboard. And it's polyphonic, so when you layer that with the ARP, it's so easy. This library was designed in a modular concept, meaning if you go down here to the let's see, he's got these noises, I believe, right? So if we go up here and say noise or particles, let's use particles. So these texture particles, you can right click and add these to it, and it gives you an element that's designed to be layered. If you want to make these a little more interesting, you can always go over here. I believe there's probably one. No, there's not. So if you go over here and say pump, get a pump house or a pumpkin. Go over here, like go to the rhythmic pulsing, like chord dance. And then go over here to the rate. Oh, you're open, but I can't see it. So instead of being here, go up here and set it to slower rates. Just by adding a pump house, you can shape it to become like a rhythmic noise. Let's go to BPM drums, choose a loop, like maybe 4. Isn't that cool? Maybe we want a little bit of rhythm on the bass part. So we could go here to the bass. Let's solo this. Pump house. And let's choose one of those other presets. Like go preset. These are ones that came from Rad Waves. If you buy Rad Waves, you get added presets so that halftime that. And then bring down the depth. Yeah, that's nice. And maybe the rhythmic pulse. One other thing I can see doing is going over here to EQ. Let's go to filter max and put a high pass filter so that it's got some like mid high frequency stuff. I'm gonna kind of minimize that. Find where it works good with the hi-hat stuff that's happening. Whoops. Hello. You can go over here. And you can go, let's see. Thank you. I'll give you, this is a bonus patch, so we'll get this up in a minute, so hold on. Let's see. Let me go over here to the high end. Tame it down just a little bit on the high end. Yeah, nice. I went back to the previous beta for Logic because the new version. Write to us at tech support if you're having freezing issues. We hopefully stopped all of that type of stuff from happening. But if there's not, give us some specifics of your situation. Also, for those of you that are upgrading to the new version of UniFi, the installer, let's see if I have this on this computer. I know I do. I just have a lot of stuff over here. Let's go like this. We'll say here. You install. Here is, let's say, the updater for Mac. That's the install update right here. So when you open this up and unzip it, it has two files for installing. You have the 1.11.2, which we suggest that you do that first. And then you can run 1.10.3 to downgrade to 1.10.3. And there's a few things added in the 1.11.2 update that will stick around that aren't compatibility issues, but it will take the plugins and the binaries back down to 1.10.3. So when you update with this first, and then if you need to go back to 1.10, we have a path inside of the installer. So that's the recommended route that Shane says works best, and I believe him because he knows what he's talking about. Anyway, let me get this realigned. I didn't realize that's out of the way so you couldn't see it. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome. So this is, as I showed you, a library that's available at my website, pluginguru.com. There's many libraries here. I believe we're up to over 100 now. So you can search around for plugins for all sorts of instruments if you don't have libraries and patches and sound design, you know, whatever you might want to look for. But the newest, which is what we're playing with today, is Space Dreams, which, as I've been showing, is a really cool... What should we call this? This seems like something like for a... Like... Oh, it's still ringing out. There's something going on that's making this ring out for the particles. So let me see. Is it the... yeah. 18 seconds on the release time. Let's shorten that down just a little bit. A little better. Let's have it be like 4 seconds. Yeah, there we go. So it just disappears with everybody else about the same curve. Let's go BPM split, because we definitely have a split going on here. How about ready player one? Because it's got that vibe to me. So save as. Oh, this is made by yours truly. And it's a BPM split. A fun multi-patch. Created during the March 23rd live stream. Save as. And save. And let me get this to you guys. Oh, maybe let's wait till the end of the live stream, because I bet you I'm making more. So there is so much to this library. Now, I'm not really from the space music. I'm not a purist at that, where you're just, it's like very slow evolving, you know. I'm kind of a hybrid, you know. I want to see like EDM and dance stuff mixed with the space music type of stuff. But the library can go to legitimate places in the space music genre where you're playing, and let me slow this down from 100 to like 75 beats per minute. And we played B2 and got those nice repetitive patterns. Isn't that cool? Just one note. Super dreamy. And each one of these BPM sequences sets everything up, gives you all the colors. And we're going to use one of these to write a demo song in a minute. So let's try out Stargaze. And one of the reasons we found why this takes so long to load is because of Klangfalter. Loading, he has convolution reverbs on every one of these. And when it has to unload 8 layers of them, so, oh, I didn't spell split right. Silly me. Let's fix this. So let's get it up. And I need to add an I. BPM SPL IT. Radio player one. My allergies have been just driving me crazy. So I apologize if I'm doing all right. I've got an allergy pill helping me fight back everything. Let's see, let's get this to go over there in case we have to come back here to that. Is there a clap? Is there a clap? Is there a clap in the house? We all have so many. If you go to the BPM, actually, no, I'm sorry. If you go to the drums, like the IDM kit, there is a clap, I believe. Maybe not. It's kind of a clap, kind of a noise clap. And if you wanted it not to be that sound, as you can see, these are all multi-layers, which means you can, and it sounds like there's an effect. Here's a cool trick. If you want, you can use the LFO in Guru Sampler. This is one of my favorite things to do. Set it to custom, set it to one shot, set the amp at max. This becomes the speed playback. And then you can open up this custom shape now, and you can like shape this exactly how you want. And this has a bit more low end than you want. So because it's a layer all by itself, it'd be easy to go over here and go EQ. More resonant or not. So yeah. I mean, you can go get yourself some free demo samples from all the free beta packs from Cymatics and stuff if you need to just get a whole bunch of clap samples. For those of you who don't know, I'll be just throwing out free tips. There's a couple other plugins I'm going to show you today to play with along as we go. Cymatics.fm. I would suggest they're very rapid on sending lots of email. But they are always giving away beta packs of samples of a library that's on its way. Let's see. I don't want the lander. No, and I don't want that either. So no. No, that's not right. So for example, here is Cymatics. They do more of the urban type of libraries of loops, audio loops and stuff like that. But they have a ton of free stuff that you can find. These freebies, you go here, you'll find these free beta packs that give you 4.8 gigabytes of stuff for free to use. Just boom, like that. And they have beta packs for all sorts of things, past libraries. So you can literally get yourself an unlimited number of drums, claps, hits, and stuff from these free beta packs that they provide at their website. So Cymatics.fm is a free resource. They have a lot of, they make libraries and then they do limited releases and a number of big artists to use tracks from their loops. They're good guys. You will get a lot of email from them, but just it's easy to delete if you don't want to read it. And then you get these bonus packs all the time. I have literally more of those types of samples than I need, and there's some really cool sounds in there. So that's one free tip to point you guys towards. Right? So I want to do, I'll actually be doing a follow-up video on the channel probably this coming week. I want to on a deep dive into all that we have built into Guru Sampler, because there's a lot here to play with. But this envelope out of the LFO is one of my favorite tricks because you can shape things in all sorts of really cool ways. Get it to be cut short, right? If you wanted to have like little clappy variation things, you can double click and put breakpoints in it like that, and then just go over here and speed it up. all sorts of ways to use this LFO. You turn on the one-shot button and it makes it now an envelope. And so you can do things where you set it to be a square down or saw down or something like this. And you can even set it to be notes like this. And now it's synced to an LFO, a quarter note. So if I had this be instead like something, let's have this do a cool texture thing. Let's see, have the sample start at the beginning. I'm gonna get myself into something where but like say a pad or. One second here. And that way it now becomes a timed, let's go to the standard library. Because Bob has some tricky things in the samples he's doing, but if we go here just to sawtooth, let's transpose it up 24 semi. Okay. What did I do? Unpitched. Here we go. So say pitched. There. That was the problem. And now it becomes something that can be, instead of playing like this, it can go away. Right? So you can set this up and then have it be timed so it's a quarter note or a half note. And if you turn this off, this can repeat. Right? So it's super useful. There's so many other things inside a Groove Sampler to play with. So I'm planning to make a video diving into that. As well as everything else, there is a couple places where Bob went into different territory. This is an acoustic piano, but it's treated in a special way. It's designed for playing in space. So it's not the in-your-face grand piano, super bright and dry and all that stuff. It's got... That's in the samples of Space Piano. Here's all of the samples used to create this piano. There's also really lovely pianos in space with particles right next to it, which gives you that piano plus particles. Which is really nice. Those particles are a really unique element to add to things. In fact, do you guys want to see a tip? This is a tip video created by Bob. Let's see if I can get this to play. Can I drag this over to Logic? Let me see, where did he put it? Where did I put MKV? Desktop. Let's see, can I drag this over here? No. Oh, there it is. No. Let's put it here. All right, so let's see if I can get this to load into Logic, and then I can play it from Logic. Nope, okay. I have to play it from the VLC player. This is a tip video, and I probably got to go over and let me see. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me go to loopback. I appreciate you guys always being patient with me while I'm doing this stuff. And let's turn on. Oh, we got to add an application. So we say add VLC. Boom. And get that out of the way, get this out of the way, get back to VLC. Oh, this is the video. So you should be able to hear this now. This is Bob explaining a way to use the pads, and it's really interesting. So you get to hear it in his voice and everything. So here you go.
Okay, some things about the noise skips and the textures and what's the idea behind that. Let me show a pad first. Now, some pads have 2 layers, I think only a couple actually. So as you can see here, there are 2 layers, and the second layer is a noise layer. So I like the idea of the noise layers in pads and sounds in general, and that's why I have created separate noise layers that you can use in any sound. That's the main idea. And here you can morph it between the layers, so as you can hear. You can get more noise or less noise. You can get tremolo effect. Some things about the X button. Now this, in order to hear the difference, you have to replay sometimes, and sounds rather different because there are many parameters changing. It's subtle, but still good. Okay, let's say another pad that it does not have a noise layer, this one. So now what you can do is simply go here in the noise skips and add one, doesn't matter which one. Immediately you get a different amount, a different it sounds more deep now, right? It sounds more complex, complicated, beautiful, because the noise will also act like a ASMR in a way. Of course, you can keep building. You can go to particles and load into the layer and adjust and pan a little bit. I mean, that's the idea. The idea is that you use any sounds that you like, then you can build some layers, some noise layers on top of it to add interest and motion. This add motion as way. Of course, you can keep building. You can go to particles and load into the layer and adjust and pan a little bit. I mean, that's the idea. The idea is that you use any sounds that you like, then you can build some layers, some noise layers on top of it to add interest and motion. This add motion as well. And of course, you can go to deeper textures like this, and especially in the low end, if you hit the bass note, now you get this very unique type of pad because it has all these noise layers, right? Which, I mean, you can change in real time using the macros here. And let's say we want to add more motion to it, so we're gonna call a motion layer on top of that. Let's say Orion Nebula. Now this is a complex patch already, but still. I mean, the complexity of the sound is unparalleled because you can keep building and having in mind that I have used different textures in all the sounds, so I was having early in mind that I want to do a lot of combinations and get very thick and complicated textures, and in a way I have separated them into stems, so I wanted everything to be modular, like you said in your live stream, to be a Lego-like thing where you could glue a lot of things and you get all these beautiful, very deep and complicated results.
Isn't that cool?
This is super complicated sound right here.
So let's take this, and this is what I've done. While he played, I wrote down the names of the patches. Right? So here are the patches that he loaded, and let's build this together so you can see how we do this. How he did it, so you can see step by step what Bob did to make this sound that you hear. Now, he was changing levels, so we might not be perfectly identical, but what we would do is this. So let's get this to be small enough so I can have it here in the corner while I have UniFi up and running. And let's call back up UniFi. Hello, UniFi. And let's say we started with Bloom. So I'm going to go up to the text up here and say Bloom. There it is. And this, now, before you do this, one thing that Bob missed that I think would be helpful is to turn on this Add Missing Macro Links button when you do this. Sometimes you don't want it to do this because if you're loading a drum groove and then you don't want the drum groove to do weird things on the knobs, because it now combines everything to the knobs as you do it. But in this case, Bob's using kind of similar assignments for the macro controls for everything he's doing. So it should work out fine. But this way, everything you load as a UniFi layer is going to have its assignments glued right into these, so that right now this has like 2 things assigned to it. But let's do it this way. Well, we start with this, that's fine. So we're going to go Exosphere was the next thing he loaded. So EXOSP, there it is. And we right click and we say, add this as a new UniFi layer. And so it adds it. And these knobs, as you can see now, it's added the Exosphere knob assignments. So now, oh, but I have to start with Bloom. I didn't start with Bloom. So I want to start with Bloom. I'm starting with pianos and particles or something like that. So Bloom first. Okay. Then Exosphere. EXO. And we right click and we say load as a new UniFi layer. So the reason to do UniFi layers versus just a layer 1 is I don't know if this patch, which it is, Exosphere is a 2-layer patch. And so if you know it's just a drum groove or it's just like a unified library where when you go to a patch and you say load into a new unified layer, you use this add instrument 1 layer, that only adds whatever is layer 1. It doesn't add the master effects. It doesn't add auxiliary effects. And if there's 20 other layers, it won't add them. So in cases like this, this is why we have these 2 options. The load UniFi layer lets you load something totally encapsulated with its master effects, auxiliary effects, and however many layers there are in the patch, they are all loaded. But if we say just to set instrument 1 only, then it only loads this first layer, whatever's in 1. So I want to load all the UniFi layers. So let's go over here and say full UniFi layers. Now let's play it. So we started with just Bloom by itself. But as Bob said, this is modular library. So we have this really cool pad element. And then what I do, I'll listen to this and go, there's a lot of low end in this. Do I want that low end? And if I don't, and in this case, I kind of don't think I do. So I'm going to just quickly go over here and click a filter max. Say high pass filters. I just want really that high energy motion because I'm going to add other stuff in a minute that gives me the low end that's bass oriented, that's going to be more clear this way by doing this. So I added a filter max. Okay, what's next? He loaded particles too. So particle R2C. So we're going to say UniFi layer. It says UniFi layer right here. So I just have to click it and it adds it. It added this by itself. Cool stereo panning. So now when you put that together, and then once you add something, adjust it to mix where you want it. Right? This is kind of like a mid-high, and this is more high. So they work really well together. And then we added Mars. So I'm going to go up here and say Mars. And let's solo so we hear for a second. Yeah. But it's not really tonal, right? But this added really interesting. Let's play it in the mix. So let's solo this and solo the patch that I put the filter max on. Let's see if I lower the frequency if they work. Find the place where they work. Maybe about there I like. That way it lets whatever's happening here in the low end be more there without other things blocking it. And then Orion Nebula. So I'm just gonna say Nebula. N-E-B-U-A. There's Orion Nebula. Let's load that. And now we have what Bob was showing in the video. Nice. So let's say this. Let's see, delete please. Save. And this is a cool pad. Really cool. What should we call this? Do you guys want to come up with a name? Let's see what you guys come up with names. Let's go over here to Firefox. Spacewalk. I like that. Away from home. We will let Bob name this. How's that, since he this is his sounds inside of this. Away. Let's see. All right, why is my keyboard not working? Hey, hello? All right. Oh, I'm over here on this Logic page. Great, I want to be over here. I know. We're having troubles here, so cancel. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, my keyboard has decided not to be cooperative, it looks like. So save as. It's stuck over here doing key command motions over in Logic. Test. It works here. I have a glitch. Yes, I have a glitch. Let's go. Let's see. How can I guess I'm gonna have to do this. So text edit. See if I can do this. I might not be able to do this. Away from home. Copy. Select this and paste. And I need a space, please. Can I have a space to copy? I might have to restart Logic for this to work, because that's. Oh, there now the keys are working. Okay, away from home. I'll give joint credit. John Lehmkuhl, Bob Deis, ambient pad created from watching a video Bob created to play during today's live stream. How's that for confusing? Enjoy, because this is a good one. and save as saves. There's 2 patches. We'll probably make at least 1 more before we're done here. But I was going to use this in a demo song. So how do we use this as a demo song element? A lot of synthesizers, if you had it playing 5 layers, you'd be afraid to do anything complex beyond it because it'd be taking up all your computer power. This is like nothing. I mean, it's not even making a blip inside of Logic. So we have lots of room to work with. Let me go over here on this layer. Where are we at? This is where Logic gets confusing for me anymore because okay, so I need to turn off here. I need to turn on record here. And okay, so this will be interesting. I'm gonna record in, here's Logic. And it's got my microphone running into it, which if I turn this off, I'm gonna have this running and I might be recording audio at the same time, but let's record in a passage. Okay, so we'll just play something. I mean, we're going kind of the space music vibe, but we'll see if we can like add some more interesting elements to it. It's waking up the computer. Can we record? Huh. Let's see here. All right, so as you see, it recorded silence at the same time that it recorded our ambient pad, so we can quiet. So we have that, which sounds lovely. Let's go up here to 5, which I have 4 tracks set up, and then if we need more, we can add more. Let's go to the basses. Yeah, if this. Maybe I want to have something like a swell, but I also want to have something like a blackened layered with it. So let's load this into a new UniFi layer. So I'm using 2 patches together. And maybe for this one, I'm going to break it up to make it a little more rhythmic. So we'll go over here to Dynamics, Pump House. I'm just going to make it a standard pulse and make it like an 1/8 notes. Maybe like 72%. Let's see what that sounds like. Now, because this is a UniFi layer, that means I have Flex EQ right here. I'm going to try to find the frequencies I can bump up. Get a little bit more of that to cut through the mix. Okay, let's play this when we play our track now and see what we got. right, so let's add that really quick. So let's go over here, turn on the record. It's gonna record audio on my microphone, because if I turn this off, well, here, I'll just pass. Well, I'm just gonna do the bass part, so here. I like that. I like that. So let's loop. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So let's go here to this third layer. Let's do some drum stuff. So let's go over here. We're going to customize, make our own custom thing. There's a plugin I want to show you guys that came out that I bought. Let's call one. Well, actually, so I'm going to show you a little bit more of an advanced thing you can do, because this is using 3 different layers to get this groove, right? So I'm just going to bypass, so we can call these back if we want to. But I'm going to set each one of these to a different MIDI channel. And then we're going to use a multi-channel instrument inside of Logic. So what you do to do that is you go over here to the little track pull down. And instead of it playing to all for the MIDI out channel, you say 1. And then we go like this. And when you hold down Control and hit this, you can see each one's a different MIDI channel. So now it should, let's see, let me make sure no, well, it is, but there. Logic did this thing in this latest update that drives me absolutely batty. And I have friends that work on the software, and I've talked to them about it, because it does multi-channel MIDI, which is great, but boy, is it tricky, because now, let's see, I think I forgot to turn this stuff on. So here, let's get this back on. Boom. So as you can see, I've got the ability to change, like, so I'm playing part 1, part 2, and part 3. So those are 3 separate parts, all from the same UniFi, because I set up my outputs so that they're each on just a certain MIDI channel instead of all. If you set it to all, then it just plays to all the MIDI channels. And when UniFi is set to all, it just plays. But I want each of these layers to be independent. So let's go to part 1. Maybe I want to do like a cool pattern like that. So I'm going to have this over here. I'm going to turn on the record button, and let's play drum pattern. So and it recorded me bashing on the keys. Quantize loop. Now, if I want, I can go over here to the MIDI data, and I can look at these notes, and I could take the snare. And why is it on? I don't understand. It should not be playing both. It's playing the kick drum every time. Oh, you know what? This kick drum. Oh, I see what it is. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the even deeper rabbit hole, because I set up this UniFi layer as 1. You got to go a layer deeper And it's got the kicks layered with everything else. So I'm gonna make this kick only play on this note and here. So that way it can't play anywhere else. So that way now. There. It's a UniFi layer. When you turn off the Midi box, it's now playing everything layered on top of each other. So I'm going to kind of separate the different elements, like that snare that I liked. It's this one, right? So if I, so let's tell the snare only to play this note and this note. Because you can see all these other elements are different UniFi layered elements in here. The other ones, there's no kicks and snares up there, so that should be fine. So I'm gonna open this up by holding down Control Shift to make another duplicate of that track, but it's empty, so I can play the hi-hat kind of stuff I wanna have, because I wanna do some fun. Let's play for a second, find what we want. Let's just improvise and find something we like. So. So I just played all over the place, and I can play this back now. Like, I don't like any of that, so I know that I can open this up. I can go to measure 3, Command T. That's out of here. I don't want any of that, so I'm gonna go over here. Okay, I like that. That works. So I'm just gonna take that one measure, get rid of everything else. Let's try this, loop that. And now I'm moving the kick and snare later because I wanted to start with just this. So you can see we're building. That's the way that I like to work a lot of times is I'll sequence something in and then I kind of like go like mining with my little mine detector to find the measure that works. That way you can experiment and not have the pressure of like, oh, I have to get it right just this one time. I just can play it that way. And then if I wanted to like pick out exactly what samples and what notes those were that I wanted so I could play a longer pattern, I'm not going to do that right now. Let's go to the fourth part right here and let's add something else to this because I got something fun to show you in a minute. So let's go over here. Let's add an ARP pattern. That's going to give us kind of a glue. And once again, because the record button's up here, let's try the different UniFi ARPs that are here. There you go. That's the kind of glue I'm looking for, something that's consistent. Now let's look at this for a second, because maybe we can play with this a little bit. Let's put a noise box on this, distortion, bring up the intensity. There. So we need to get a CC writer doing what I was just doing, right? See how I'm like playing the... Noise box is one of the best secret weapons inside a UniFi. And someday it will be an audio effect, I promise. Can't tell you the details yet, but I am working on something that's so cool. Move this into a new embedded UniFi layer, which means that noise box is now able to be modified. So let's call up noise box. And let's go over here to the macro knobs, hit our little ear, move the filter cutoff. And then let's just assign this to CC20. And I'm kind of doing this backwards because I'm not known for doing it the same way every time. So let's go over here to utility CC writer. And this is set to CC20 already. So now, right? Now let's bring up the effects. Maybe I want this to be slower. So let's say 2 bars. So it kind of disappears for a second. Because what happens is this filter gets so far down that there's no frequencies there to play. So it makes it essentially go away. All right, so let's see if this works. Let's turn on the record button and yeah, I like that. So let's say loop. Now Bob has some killer leads in here. One cool shortcut inside of Logic is if you're on an instrument track and double click, it just makes a new blank instrument track. If you're an audio effect, if this is an audio track and you double click, it makes a new audio track. It's just a cool little shortcut. So I'm going to add one more UniFi. Let's go UniFi, please. And let's go to the leads. And let's find a nice lead that works for this. So let's go Space Dreams. To the leads. And of course, thanks Logic, you're still stuck on this guy up here. It just... And there's that pitch wobble that I just have an allergic reaction. All right, so we have a nice, cool soaring lead. Just the first lead patch works great, so. One cool thing with Logic, if I go over here and Everybody does this. Let's see, where is capture recording? Turn that on. If I hit this button, I didn't record. Oh, it didn't record it. Okay, I was hoping it recorded it. We'll do it one more time and I'll record it. One more time. There. So that is the melody. I like that melody. So it might be one of these things where, like, let's take the bass and let's not have it start at the beginning. And let's see, maybe we won't have that either. Let's just have... And let's say maybe we don't even want this. Now we're getting into like the production of the song, right? So let's go like this. We want to have this lead, the arpeggiator start first. Now, I'm going to do something that is kind of fun, where you take, the concept is you have this full melody. I just want pieces of it. And a cool thing I can do in Logic is I have this record overdub, which when I turn on record now, it erases whatever is on that track. So I'm going to have it play with the melody, but I'm going to hit record at times to make it delete notes that I don't want. Well, it's supposed to have done it, but this new version of Logic is driving me crazy. I don't want these notes, so I'm just going to delete them. Da, da, da. There. Right there, I'm going to have the bass come in. So you can see how once you have your ideas and your elements, then you get to play around with when you want them to show up, how much of them you want them to be there. You don't want them to be, don't give away the whole show in the first time you play the melody sometimes. And now you would go in and you would say, it'd be really cool to have some sort of cool effect thing. So I'd go over here to the library and I would go looking at those particles and the effects. There's some really cool things in that category to work with. So you could go space dreams, go down here to the, let's see here. Textures, these noiseescapes like dust storm. And once again, drives me absolutely batty. Cool. So we have these to play with, so we could like, we're doing our own Dune. Yeah, and see, because they don't have the R on. Gosh, Makes one want to start using another DAW. I'll tell you that. One, two. So you could repeat those, but you get the idea. They weren't very loud for some reason. So let me see here. I need to find some boosting of certain frequencies. And of course, it's got my keyboard playing up here. But you get the idea. So we'll turn this into, I'm going to go save as demo song. And I will work on that more during this. Now, I'm going to do one more thing to trick out because I got a really cool effect I found that I think some of you would like. I don't know. It's not necessarily a space music oriented, so we're going to actually do something kind of fun. We're at 75 beats per minute. I was telling you earlier about cymatics, so let's use a cymatics loop of a whole different genre. Let's go over here to sample libraries. For example, cymatics. So like I have quite a few of their freebies. So let's go over here to Aftermath Pack. Drum loops. Do they have any that are 75 or 150? Well, you know what? This is kind of interesting. I can use automatic mode. And so when I drag over something, it will automatically put it in here. So let's drag this over, say, starting at measure 1. It's going to analyze it. Edit downbeat. Okay. Click don't show. So it's not the right time. So let's see here. So we can set this to flex, turn on flex. Say we want it to be rhythmic. And I think it's supposed to be like, is it 8 measures long? So we got to go over here and just say. Anyway, let me show you this effect that I found. It's from a company in the Fs. Are they here? Oh no, it's not. It's I just got it. I got to show you this. It's a multi-band transient designer, and my allergies have my eyes all messed up. So 1 second here. Let me go over here. Where did I find it? 1 second, because I just got this. Actually, let me find it in UniFi really quick because let's go over here. Is it XX? No. Oh man, I wasn't prepared. There's another one I want to show you too that I don't know if we're gonna have time. Gosh, where's my receipt? All mail. And it's been busy because you've been buying like crazy. And so it's that. Oh, thanks. Okay, so that's not gonna work. It's a multi-band transient designer. I can't find it. I'm not going to be able to find it. But it's really, really cool. And you can take and like break things down to a really cool, the audio breakdown. If you do multiple effects of the same thing, it does some really cool things. But as you can see, you can add drum loops. So you can see where it was going. It takes a lot more work than this, of course, to get to be a full demo, but that's a good start. Anyway, so there's that. There's one more thing I wanted to show you guys before we end the live stream. It's a really interesting plugin. I've only got the demo version of it. Let's go here to UniFi, because I can call it up here. It's something to check out. I've heard some people have mixed reactions to this. I thought it was pretty cool. It's under all instruments in the Fs. This Forever 89. It's called Visco. Oh, that's right. It won't work in UniFi. It does this small window in the corner thing. So instead of that, let's call over here as Forever 89 Visco. Okay. It didn't do this before, so it must be a memory issue. And is it going to lock up my system? Oh, okay. That's nice. Thanks. So let's say no plugin. Let's try it one more time. There we go. So it plays. You got to do this count off. Every time you open the window, it does the count off. But it's really cool. And once again, you're talking on UniFi later. But like, say you got the kick drum here, you can click and you can transpose the sounds, and it shows them in an interesting graphic way. If you right click, you can enable note follow. So now as you play different sounds, your blob, and each one of these you have a cool hybrid mixing between them. And he has some different tools here for clicking. And if I just hold on this, I'm just clicking and holding it. I'm just clicking and holding, and I'm using the eraser now. I want to get rid of the high frequencies up here. So it's really an interesting concept. I don't know if you guys have played with this. I'm not sure what you guys think of it, but I wanted to make you aware of it. To be able to do this to your plugins is kind of cool. A different way of editing and working with sound, right? Let's go to like the... Really, really fun. So if you don't know about Visco, let me show you the website for it. Visco. from Forever 89. It's forever89.studio. And they have a demo version you can download to play with. Down at the bottom of the page, I believe. Yeah, here's your demo version. Windows version is only 3 megabytes, so it's not large in memory size what it's doing. So it's not sample based. It's a synthesis based type of alterations and stuff. Let me do this. If I go to search my history. No, I want to show all history. And come over here. No. Yesterday. Let me see if I can find what I was telling you about in that other effect, just for you to check out, if nothing else. No, I don't think I'm going to find it easily. I'll have to do some, because I bought it. It wasn't one that was free, and it's not cheap, but what it does is super cool. And yeah, I can't find it. But it's a 4-band. Maybe some of you guys know. I'll have to look in the chat to see if some of you guys know about it. It's a 4-band. Oh, there it is. Here it is. I found it. Check this out. I'll show it to you this way, and then I'll show you the web page. I found it. There is a God in heaven. So we go UniFi. Let's call up just a drum loop from, say, Rad Bad Beats. Let's call up something like this. So it's called Stab. ST4B is the name of it. ST4B. There it is. And it's able to do pretty extreme. Here, it's having problems being on top of interfaces. Is that what it is? Let's bring these down so it's just doing severe. You have frequency band range. If you bring it all the way, or actually, let's bring some stuff all the way up. Let's have this all the way up and then have the kick all the way up. Isn't that cool? And you can solo. But it can like just tiger it in on like individual sample level. It's got, I think, 3 samples of delay. And what's really, really fun with this is if you start layering like 2 or 3 of these, if we say ST4B, and let's see, go like, hold down Control and Shift to copy the parameters from here and paste them here. And let's do one more. So we go ST. And let's paste the settings there. So there's 3 settings of just maximum transient attacking at different frequency content. You just get these crazy frequencies to pop out. I love it. Here's the company. It's called iHi Audio. And you can just get really, really interesting stuff that take samples that normally sound a certain way and like warp them, but keep the attack like just like ripping your head off at the same time. I was really impressed with that. So yeah, I found it to show you. So I wanted to. So there might be more multi-band compressors, but this is ST4B Stab. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope, was there any questions? Well, Filterverse is a whole different thing. I don't think I could show this on this computer doing a live stream. Filterverse takes a huge amount of CPU power. Just like, and I didn't want to risk that in the live stream. But yes, Filterverse is exceptionally cool. As I've told a couple of my friends, what it does to a sawtooth waveform is illegal. It should not be done. You can take a single sawtooth and turn it into sounding like it's a complete synthesizer, a multi-oscillator with really cool distortion and stuff, just using the filtering that it has inside of it. So that's one that's really cool. But anyway, Stab for Life and Visco were the two things I wanted to show you as bonus little plus things. And happy Palm Sunday. There you go. And let's do our shout out. Shout out from everywhere in the world you are. Shout out from Portland, Oregon. Thank you for sticking around to watch this. I hope you guys got some ideas and insights and suggestions and ways of using the various tools and stuff inside of your DAW to get something fun going with this library. It's really a cool library. Hey, Norway. Hi, Hans. Good to see you, man. From Santa Clara, New York City. Good to see you, Andrew. So awesome. Holland. Oh, great, Dubes. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Hey, shout out, Tony. Good to see you all. Yeah, well, shout out to all of you. Chicago, right on, Lewis. Good to see you. Yes. Bob in Greece. Yes, thank you, Bob. This is a wonderful product you created. It's got so many places sonically to go. In space. It's really, really fun. Denmark, good to see you, Denmark. Hello. Hello, France. Good to see you. Stuttgart, good to see you, Stefan. Isn't it cool? We're just around the world getting to hang out all at once. I just love the shout outs. It's my best part of our live stream. It's my favorite part to see where everybody is and stuff like that. Blue-eyed cat. Plim Plimland in Deutschland. Awesome, man. Hi, Richard in Quebec. Good to see you. Well, thank you, everybody. It's a joy to see you. Just a little update on me. I think I have found people that are interested in renting my home. And it's a situation where they need to move in like May 1st. So it gives me a little bit more time. So I'll probably do at least 1 or 2 more live streams, which is good news. And it'll be probably in April. Everything will go dark for 2 weeks or so, at least until I find I'm going to hopefully get to Boise and be looking for a place to live so that I have someplace all set up. So that's the plan. It's really exciting. So UK clocks move forward next Sunday. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a great day, a great week. Thank you for your support of our adventures and endeavors. We truly appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you guys supporting us. So thank you. Much, much appreciated. And we will see you in the next live stream, okay? Yay! Thank you. Bye.